62 subscribers.
Have we?
I've been banging our channel in various Doctor Who groups, as I said. So in the last couple of hours, well, before the episode starts.
Wow.
Countdown is starting, guys.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
Definitely.
2,
Oh, it's on.
1, go.
We're in.
9.
No, that's them. We're in now. We're already in.
Yes. Hello and welcome to Around the Console live on YouTube. This is a first for us and terribly exciting. I'm Bob, your host, and I'm joined around the console by my good friends. Someone's got the volume on.
I was testing it.
Just checking. And that's my introduction to I'm joined around the console by Sheps,
Yay!
John,
Hello.
Sucky,
Hello.
and Craig.
Hello.
And joining as our 6th member of the crew to help pilot this vessel is you, the viewer. So feel free to drop us a little message in the chat as we go to interact with us, and we can discuss it. So, yeah, the power of the Doctor is what we have just watched half an hour ago. I'm going to go around the console now and just get some vibes off each ear. I'm going to come to Craig first. Give me your vibe.
Well, this did not disappoint me in the slightest. I was in heaven for 1.5 hours. It was, to me, truly magnificent. Great finale for Jodie. It was like a roller coaster, non-stop action, non-stop pace. Truly genius story. Loved it.
Good God, that's very positive, Craig. Nice.
Always.
Sucky.
Yes, I've just got to echo what Craig just said. I just thought it was a great episode, absolutely brilliant. I loved all the cameos, and the storyline made sense. So I'm going to give it a really good score at the end.
We don't score, but that's fine. Nice one, Sucky. John.
Yeah, this is Chibnall's love letter. It clearly is, and you can feel it in everything that happened on that episode. It's great. I enjoyed it from start to finish, and I was surprised many times there were tears.
Oh, John.
Very, very positive so far. Is Sheps going to continue this positivity?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think we've been waiting for this, and it's a shame that she has to go because you can see some great writing from Chibnall in this. You could look into it further and find faults, like with everything, but it's not a day for faults. It's a day for heartache.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's been preparing that, hasn't he?
Yeah, I've written that down.
Oh, I'll tell you what, lads. I genuinely feel like I feel drained. It was such an emotional journey, intense roller coaster of awesomeness, and I just, Chibnall, just thank you, because you've just given a lifelong Doctor Who fan, to which Doctor Who means a lot. My God,
yeah.
I couldn't get over it. I still can't get over it now.
Likewise, I'm not a mega fan, but I still thought it was great, Bob. So
that's good, because I did sort of think like about there's so much in there for us fans. This big gift, that have been the lifelong fans, if you like, and grown up with it and stuff. And I suppose did it matter that you didn't get all that? It was just a good, awesome sci-fi action emotive story.
It took so many boxes. It just went through the list. What you always wanted was on it. And it threw in a lot. It threw in so much that the time just went so fast. You wanted a bit more. And if it's leaving you wanting a bit more, I think it's achieved its goal.
I don't know. I think an hour and a half was perhaps enough for me. I could have
Not for me. I could have gone for 8 hours.
No. With all the cameos that were just popping up left, right, and centre, and you just thought, let this continue. Let this continue.
it didn't matter if you didn't know who those people were. Like at the end, the support group, it didn't matter if you didn't know those people were previous companions. The concept was still there that you could understand it. That was just an extra bonus for, you know, kind of.
I thought that was beautiful because it was kind of a good rationale for bringing in, you know, old companions.
Yes,
but also the idea of it as well. You know, it's support groups. There's a lot of different ones, you know, for different things, you know, addiction, etc. And it is a place for people to come and share and not feel alone. I think that's something that really struck a chord with me. I thought that was a brilliant idea. I know we've had it sort of before with a little bit with Linda, you know, but that was just awesome.
It was a nice way to bring Yaz back, wasn't it? Because clearly Yaz was heartbroken by then knowing that she'd not. You know, there'd been other special people in the Doctor's life, and she was just missing the dots. They'd not done the goodbye. She just, you know, left her best friend and, you know, someone she loved. And then to get that support immediately was lovely because everyone else said, you just, you know, Sarah Jane's departure, you just left me. They all said that. And now.
But the thing is, though, that this support group is not, it was a support group within the fiction of the show.
Yes.
But it also was a bit of a message to all the fans and everything out there, isn't it? How you all are together with your memories of what has happened.
That's why we do this podcast as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we're sharing something that we love and get to chat about it. You know, we've got some definitely some good feedback on the chat as well. You know, saying that the guest appearances were good, you know, and handled well. And it wasn't just chucking him in to chuck him in.
No.
I did feel that as well. I just honestly, the bit that got me, I'm just going to come right out with it. And I started welling up a bit when Dan left, a little bit. And I don't even really like Dan, but I did a little bit.
He did his best acting in this episode. That first few minutes, he acted
by
well.
Not being in it.
No, by those first few minutes, he clearly could pull the different facial expressions.
Man, the bit that got me, apart from the end, it was just when Sylvester McCoy.
Yes, I knew you'd fucking go.
Yeah, I knew
that.
Like flipping fiddlestick. Yeah. Seriously, it was honestly just absolutely wow. I was just in tears. It's just that's my Doctor and my ace.
Yeah,
having this farewell, and the bit about them falling out. I don't know if that's in the New Adventures or whatever.
I did wonder that because
it might not be in New Adventures. It might be in Sophie's book, Childhood's End. I'm not sure. I haven't read that.
Could it have been even Curse of Fenric? Because there was that bit of. I know they made up with the cat people and all the rest, but there was that kind of distance at Church of Fenric. What's it called? Curse of Fenric, where he kind of like she feels she's been belittled, and I just wondered if maybe it was that keeping it within the TV canon.
Don't know, but it's definitely nodding at something. There's a lot. I mean, it's just all nods at everything.
Yeah.
But the beginning. Let's start at the beginning because the beginning. What an awesome action-packed intro! It was edge of my seat stuff. That I thought it was brilliant.
I have to say that the train thing was a good. You need an exciting intro to get people into the episode. That's a given. It has lots of action, but for me, it was just too colourful. And a bit lens flaring. It didn't detract from the content, but it did make me a little bit annoyed just to see all that.
Apparently, J.J. Abrams directed that first scene.
Pretty much. Yeah, but that's the style of this entire season. Yeah. That's everything that Jodie's done has been at that pace.
Fast. But that's what they. Yeah, I understand that, but this is a brand new episode that they want to pull viewers in straight away with an action-packed story, and they'll just start it straight away with the Doctor just jumping down onto a moving train. Yeah. And I did like that story, that beginning, and I was sort of I sort of had it in my head that child, right? Because we've been going on about the timeless child. I thought that was another early incarnation of the Doctor that they got in the box, a timeless child.
I'm glad that wasn't there though. Actually, I'm glad that kind of Flux wrapped all that up, and then this was just a standalone story, pretty much ish. But I think the fast-paced beginning was really essential actually, because not only did they want to cram a lot in, you had to have something fast and scary for Dan to do his quick departure. Because if it hadn't been so tense as that, with his, drifting into space and he's cracking his suit, why would he suddenly just in the first 5 minutes go, do you know what, Doctor, I'm going to stay?
But talking of Dan, that is the first time, that's the first time I proper chuckled at something Dan's done, is when he, the that expression when he does the train announcement.
Yes.
And he finishes and he does a grin like, it looks like Father Dougal from Father Ted. Just like looks so happy with himself that he's done it.
What did he call himself? Dan the Space Train Driver.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
He did it good, yeah.
Apparently, Sheps, they can't hear you live. Just gonna say that we can hear you lovely and well, but just to let you know, they can't.
Chris
hear
been
you.
making the most insightful comments so far.
I know he's been.
You've got one job, and that's to do all the technical things.
That's everything.
Sorry, I think you might be able to hear me now. I know what it was.
But yeah, thank you for pointing that out, LHA again. It's a funny.
You know who that is.
This is the first time we live. There's a few technical things like the bordering to
we're getting there. We're getting there, but there's some good comments as well. Jodie Russell, Big Finish must be rubbing their hands after that episode. Probably right. There's a lot to take out of there.
Yeah.
And apparently there's not an alternate timeline where Liverpool aren't rubbish and beat Notts Forest. Just wanted to put that out there, Sucky and John.
I don't know who's that.
Who the flip said that? Deb.
Deb Green. So there you go.
Well, in that case, I'll forgive her.
What did you reckon to the Doctors coming back into it then? Because that's been rumoured ever since the series came back in 2005.
They didn't dominate proceedings, though, did they? They were just there. They were cameos virtually. I think that was the best way to attack it, really.
Done brilliantly because of the age and whatever. You can't just have them walking about, being the Doctor. To do it like they did, this whole mind concept and projections and holograms and things like that, you can get away with it. And I think Jodie touched on it earlier on. This was handled really well because it's hard to bring back actors after 30, 40 years.
Oh, yeah. Because they'd aged, obviously changed. Older. Of course they did. And I quite like the way they did that, with Davison, when it was like you're looking with Tegan, you're looking a bit old or whatever, and so are you. And it's very much back to that time crash or time, whatever it's called, that kind of the 10-minute special where about how the filters had made him look different. I thought it was nicely done because I know it's been rumoured for a while that was going to happen. There was a part of it was like, it could go really wrong if you go cheesy.
But you couldn't overdo it though, could you? Because it got loads of new followers of it who know who the hell they are. So it's just touched on slightly for your big fan base and enough for people to inquire who the hell they are as well if they've never seen them. Which I thought was cleverly done.
It was definitely Chibnall's. That was Chibnall's fanfic. This episode, totally. Everything he wanted in it, all the people he wanted in it, were all people that he would have grown up watching. So
they did do a premiere of this a couple of weeks ago or a week ago.
Yeah,
and they showed everything. Apparently, they showed everything. Now, sometimes
they didn't show the regeneration.
Yeah, apart from the regeneration, but the spoilers sometimes get out, and you know who's going to be appearing in the story. Now, I did not know because I've heard about most of the others, but I did not know that Paul McGann was in the story.
That was amazing.
That was surprising.
And he was in his costume. That was brilliant.
That was great.
So I'm just wondering if they filmed it, but they never put it into the actual premiere episode.
Maybe.
So they kept it all separate because he's not in the same costumes as all the others. And the other one that I didn't know nothing about was William Russell as Ian Chesterton.
Oh, that was lovely, wasn't it?
I
found that really touching, actually, when he was in it. Kind of one of those other moments when there was a little glisten in my eye.
Yeah.
It was full. It was full of it, but coming to the plot and stuff.
Whoa, there was plot.
There was a lot
plot.
Of
there was a
plot.
lot. Yeah, it was. I didn't find it overbearing. I like Cliff's at the beginning. I found it made sense, and it was nicely reiterated to keep the casual viewer hooked, so they knew what was going on. That was my take, anyway.
Yeah, because I was worried because we were going to be recording straight after this. I was worried that I would have to go through the usual process of it was glorious. I enjoyed it, but I didn't really understand anything. But we got to the point where the plot was developing, and I was paying enough attention. It did make sense. You could see they kept it simple enough that they could do all the stuff, the cameos around it.
Yeah.
But it didn't alienate people who were just there for plot.
No, definitely. I think as well. I've had a bit of this on the chat, so thank you very much on the live chat on YouTube. In regard to the Cybermen, now I've always been one for going. They're always not done right, etc. Now, I love the not winged head cloak Time Lord Cybermasters or whatever. The sort of drone Cybermasters. I thought they looked amazing. And I love the idea when cause at the beginning I was like, oh, there you go again, Cybermen are just getting shot and dying. And then they regenerate, and I was like, this is amazing. It was so cool. And I just thought Cybermen, they were a lot more powerful than the Daleks, these Cybermen masters or whatever. I thought they were brilliant.
See, I think Chibnall's done a great job of actually making those classic enemies, the Daleks, the Master, and the Sontarans, and it's like scary again. He's made them grittier. I've really loved that in him.
Can I ask a question about a Dalek?
Yes.
The traitor Dalek.
Yes.
Now I just got strategist vibes from the Town of Victoria stuff, because he was a proper scarred Dalek. He had
the strategist kind of.
Yeah, I was getting the strategist vibes from him. They didn't mention it, but I thought that would have been nice to tie in if they'd have managed that.
I'm not. What did you? Yeah, but I also looked at it. Was there maybe a continuity problem there as well? Because the one that appeared in the TARDIS seemed to have like a chip in its eye stalk, but the one that appeared actually.
That was a defect with the hologram.
Oh, is that what it is?
You
Sucky, my God.
My God, yeah.
Usually Sucky who comes up with these things.
How big is your TV to notice that? Must have been like face up front.
We haven't mentioned the main antagonist of the episode, which is the Master, who
tremendous.
Absolutely, totally nuts performance. It was over the top, and it was like cackling villain. It was brilliant.
It was
sinister and scary.
He did a real good job of making it look insane and scary at the same time, and yet also in control. And also, I love the fact that he overcomplicates absolutely everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
He wants it to look particularly villainous.
I think
he digested the Cyberlibrium or whatever else, the Cyberman thing.
Yes.
And that's why he can see everything, like he makes him. And because he's got his ego still as well, the fact that he's got combined with this, and he's so clever, his ego yet again, is his downfall. And the fact that you're saying his plot's complicated, that he has to nick this regeneration machine from just to become the Doctor and mess up the Doctor's name around the universe and the galaxy before. It's just so grand and amazing and mastery.
But him hiding in history as Rasputin, absolutely great idea, considering that there is a sort of Rasputin had this cult of personality about him. People thought he was some sort of wizardy kind of thing back then. It was like perfect person to inhabit for the Master to inhabit.
I absolutely laughed my head off when because it was creepy, sinister. Didn't expect it, and I love that song anywhere. And people, there's Darren Pickles and people in the live chat as well saying that they thought that was so funny, and I was just laughing my head off. I thought that was brilliant.
It was great. It was a perfect example of Chibnall getting it right. The levels of like grief and heartache, and also levity and like some good positive like nonsense bits, like the Dalek and the Cybermen looking at each other and go, "WTF?"
That was brilliant. And that made me, yes, but it was a sort of nod towards John Sims' Master.
Yes,
song. But
sisters, isn't it?
This was better. It was funnier, and the Dalek Cybermen nod. Normally that'd be like no way, but because it was a funny moment, they could get away with that.
It was good that it was there.
Could somebody explain to me what his motivation was really in this episode? Because he seemed to want the Doctor's regenerations.
He wanted to become the Doctor and get rid of the Doctor and replace her.
Yeah. So he
wanted to be the Doctor.
It's actually a really good idea. It's like, how's it never been done before?
Yeah. It's a mad person's ambition. Though.
Yeah, because that was all about taking Yaz with him and let's go off and save some animals, didn't he? And said,
he said, come with us on a trip. We'll show you. I thought it was really clever. If anything, he's my best new Master.
I would agree with
definitely.
I never liked John Sims as a Master, but I did like Missy. But somehow I think Sacha Dhawan just takes it to a new element. In fact, I hope that he continues on with the Master if they bring the Master back.
Well, you don't see him die, do you?
No, you don't.
Because you just see that ball, the ray of energy, go towards the Doctor, and then it suddenly just misses the TARDIS. His TARDIS.
Yeah.
Right, going towards the Doctor, and it just misses the TARDIS, and then just cuts it. So you don't know if he just jumped back in the TARDIS, whatever energy he'd left, and it just gone.
He was lying there on the floor.
Yeah. One thing about that though is, how come they just left her to go and pick up the Doctor as she comes in? How strong is she?
Oh, I love that. It reminded me of
Just ping him in. You got Vindas there. Get out and help her.
Kate Vandazani, but also with the fact it was Yaz, because Yaz isn't soft, is she?
No.
And I love the
But
fact
all
it
of
was-
them are there. Just go and help her.
But
No,
I
but
loved it
no,
wasn't
that's
the bloke,
Yaz.
and it was
Yeah.
Yaz.
Yaz
And-
loves her. It's
and now we're on
guys.
Yaz. Now we're on Yaz. Oh my god, this was played so well. This whole Yaz and Doctor thing, it was written beautifully. It was acted perfectly. That you could see the love, and not just the love that Jodie's Doctor had for Yaz, but for everyone. And it was just perfect. That for me, I thought that it was just subtle, lovely, wonderful, beautiful. It was.
Yeah, and I like the way that Chris Chibnall actually took Dan out of this story. Basically, had him for the first few minutes, and then took him out of the story. So, which gives the Yaz and the Doctor storyline a lot more scope to to expand and just be able to see all that relationship, and you feel that relationship between the pair of them.
Well, when they're sat on top of the TARDIS looking at the Earth, which is like an amazing shot, by the way. It's not. They didn't really do it. It's probably computer generated in some way.
No way.
Point to that, John. Wow, incredible!
But that moment, that you do get the feeling of them two just being completely alone in the universe at that point and talking to one another, and it was a very touching moment. And I'm not particularly a fan of Yaz or in any particular way, but it was an emotional moment. One of many in this episode.
I love the fact that it shows that she's been watching the Doctor so much, and it's ingrained into her that she's even written notes of how to do this, move the TARDIS if needed. And she used it better than the Doctor when she caught Ace and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, that was great.
It's a great scene.
That could have been a bit like when she found a jacket and a baseball bat, but I'm very biased, towards McCoy and Ace, Doctor and but I thought that was perfect, and she even got stuff like Tin Head.
Yes.
And there was a little bit of that in, because that could be quite jarring, her sort of slang speak, in the 80s, but it was just perfect in this.
I really like that both Ace, Tegan, and they all got their moment with their Doctor, just alone on the screen with nobody else.
Yeah,
it's a hologram, but that's a great idea, a great mechanism for getting this across. But they each got their moments. It was like a resolution to something that's been 30, 40 years in the making. So
that was such a good idea. The whole static thing, putting it in, and then each companion got their hologram and their Doctor moment, which was just a genius and beautiful idea.
Have you had that before? I've come across that concept before. Kind of in the shoulder, has that happened in Doctor Who before, or is it another program mixed up?
I've never seen that.
I've seen that somewhere else.
But there was always that. Do you remember the one when David Tennant meets Sarah Jane?
Yeah.
That episode, that one where in the school. Yeah. Well, there was always that thing, that look on the Doctor's face that she adopted in this, that feeling of guilt and, I wish I would have done more, and I wish I would have been there, or I wish I would have contacted them. And you always think, why didn't you? Why didn't you just fly in and tell them? And this was a great little thing at the end where they get together, and then from now on they'll stick together as a little group to help each other.
I think as well, you're not used to seeing Jodie so uncomfortable and have that guilt element. She's normally even when before regeneration, things like that, she's very much about the fun.
Yes.
And I think in this as well, what I loved was when she got into Vinda's ship and she had her glasses on and she was doing her inventing and all that sort of stuff. I love that about Jodie's Doctor. She gets her hands dirty, she gets involved in all that sort of stuff.
There was lots of nods back to her first episode, wasn't there? The glasses was a nod back, and also the fact that the episode starts on a train, which is of course how she arrives in The Woman Who Fell to Earth. There's that symmetry, kind of like.
Yes, Craig.
Insightful Craig moment, everybody.
Well, you see, without any notes or anything,
it's well swatted up.
It's amazing what happens when I've not had a glass of wine.
Or about 10 vodkas.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The bit that Bob goes going on about where Jodie is uncomfortable. She has been uncomfortable all through her regeneration with her companions. She's had that moment with Graham earlier when he going on about his cancer. There's also this moment with Yaz through their time together where Yaz is sort of confessing her feelings and all this stuff. So she's always pulled back, and she did it again in this episode when Dan was leaving.
Yes.
And when Yaz just turns around to her and says, Yeah, she doesn't like like goodbyes, and she just went back in the TARDIS.
Well, now we're talking about this. What I liked about the support group was that they're not alone anymore. You know, they have. So the Doctor doesn't need to feel guilty.
That was always. I mean, the Sarah Jane moments when in the past when you really felt. I mean, from what I watched from the old ones, that you really felt that she felt abandoned and alone with the burden of having this knowledge. And as Graham said it perfectly, now they have each other.
Yeah.
The whole Doctor Who fan base.
And there's that reference to Sarah Jane, wasn't it? Just by going to Croydon, it kind of like that reminded me that's where they got dropped off. It was even Sarah Jane had a little moment, even though she wasn't in it. It was just beautifully done.
I've just got a feeling that whenever a Doctor drops off a companion on Earth somewhere, she's just going to send a little message to Graham on his psychic paper. There's one in Aberdeen, there's one in Croydon, there's one in, just go meet them.
Yeah.
But there was so much. The Daleks. What I liked about the Daleks was they were drilling into the Earth, and I love the Master's whole like Cyber Master Dalek plan and all that sort of thing. It was just a fantastic nod. But I love the fact that Daleks were weaker than the Cybermen. And obviously I love the fact that Ace's bat is still charged with whatever the Doctor charged it with, so she could smack an eye stalk off. Yeah. And she had
wasn't her bat destroyed?
Oh, it's sucking.
Not for this.
Oh my God, she got a new back. Big damn direct sport.
After survival.
Splendid disbelief.
Yes.
But it was also brilliant that Ace got to jump off the building into the TARDIS and had that moments of being very Ace.
Yeah.
But the way they introduced it, the more like serious character was great because you got the buy-in, and then she let that bit of excitement at Ace out, which I just absolutely adored. I thought she was brilliant, and Tegan was still Tegan.
I love the fact they did her really grumpy as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like, I loved that.
I loved her speech as well when she was going, and I've got to, and all this sort of stuff. And I was an air hostess in the 80s. I was like, that's brilliant.
Yeah. We also got the Ruth Doctor, didn't we? A little cameo there as well, which was quite nice, just because
it was nice.
They're proper tying things together. That is basically underlining the Timeless Child stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, because obviously the memories are all deeply buried in the TARDIS, should it ever be required, which is where it finishes in flux. So it's clearly just written under now. If anyone wants to revisit it, they can, and if not,
I hope they do, because I think that still needs investigating. There's still so much more they can do there. Hopefully it carries on that. But it's a shame that Chibnall, because he's gone, he might have had an idea what to do.
Yeah.
But it's always been pulled down.
Or maybe it's wanted the mystery, because they like to do that, don't they? Set it up, give a bit of a mystery, and then just let it rest.
Well, maybe, but I also think that this is there's a lot of money was spent on this episode, I think.
Oh God! Yeah.
And you remember the last one we watched, which was a little bit disappointing, and we were like, I hope they've saved the money for the next one.
They did.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of glad that happened. We also saw. Now I don't know because I'm not a mega Doctor Who fan, but I'm presuming that was Adric at the end.
No, it was a mention of Adric. Adric's dead.
No, sorry. And there was Bonnie Langford there, and so who was the guy?
Ian
Chesterton.
Ian Chesterton.
Yeah. Now,
wow.
Because it was
in
the 60s.
He's got older, isn't he?
Oh, I know, but I didn't recognise him at all. So
he's 97 years old. And
I know. I thought that was really sweet.
I just looked it up. Wanted to make sure that how old he was.
I like the little line where he does. Is it girl? Like really confused.
Yeah. Because
it was sort of like a about time type thing as well. Do you not think it was like it's good? Like what everybody else has been thinking for years, and when they brought it back, it hit all the critics anyway and stuff. But I loved it.
I like Ace's kind of like this look suits you, Professor. Almost like I like that line. I love the fact she kept calling Professor as well. Actually,
did you recognise you? I was just going to say, John, did you recognise the other companions that was in that room?
Yeah, it was Lucy, Katie Manning and Bonnie Langford. I can't remember her bloody character's name.
Mel.
Yeah, I've only seen.
She hasn't changed at all, hardly.
No, she's not. No.
She's great. Just one question I was going to ask you guys: what's your opinion on the fact that Jodie has regenerated but into Tennant, so she doesn't get to regenerate into Treaty?
Whatever.
Is that an issue?
Like literally, it was for me, for my money. I'm going to put this up there with The Day of the Doctor as my favourite episode of New Who for the fan stuff. But it's the best regeneration episode ever And when she went tag you're it, and just the whole way she
that was
played
great.
it, with this smile on her face.
Yeah, playful to the end.
She's brilliant.
Well, there's no lingering annoyance that she didn't turn into Tootie.
Well,
So there's going to be a tenant in between them.
Yeah. Did you see the trailer that followed?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Right. So in the trailer that followed, you got a few moments.
Spoilers?
Am I allowed to say this?
I don't think you are.
Yeah,
It's shown straight after the episode.
Yeah, everyone
Right.
can watch
Yeah.
it again.
And it literally had David Tennant. It showed someone else, the guy, I can't remember his name now, the guy that plays the baddie in it. And then it showed Shooty. And he goes, what the hell is going on? And you've got both the doctors in the clip. So I was quite excited about that because it was like, I didn't expect an explanation for David Tennant.
The thing is,
Yeah.
I think
there is an explanation. Sorry,
Oh,
but
there
there
is.
is.
Go on,
Yeah,
Suki. I didn't.
there is
spot
an
that.
explanation because Tennant on his first what's his last line?
I don't want to go.
I don't want to go. And you had within the story, you had all the doctors saying this is where you step off into whatever, right?
Yeah.
To if you step off, you will then pass over, right? And he's right. So by the looks of it, Tennant's doctor never stepped off, and so he's come back.
So it's his David Bradley story, if you like, from Twice Upon a Time.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. actually.
That's a nice. Oh, how did you spot that? And the damaged eye stalk in that. It's like Suki. That's just.
No, we've all spotted good things on this episode because there's been a lot of good things in this episode.
Gary here says he suspects that 10 would regenerate back into 13 and then into 14. That'd be quite cool.
Oh, that'd be
She's
good.
already said that.
That'd
She'd
be
be
good.
devastated if she never got to come back to Doctor Who. She's already said that. Well, that's what social media.
Oh yes, and he points out, and Darren Pickles points out, Shooty's wearing Tennant's shirt, new tie in the trailer.
Yeah,
That's a very good point as well.
Quite excited about
God,
this, I
these
have to say.
people zoom right in. This is brilliant. I need to watch it
We
again.
didn't have time to. It was literally like get it and watch it and then get ready to come on here.
Get ready to come on it. I can't believe this.
Do
I'm
your
just going to go
hair,
wash your hair.
everything.
Literally turned the camera on.
Yes,
That was
I
it.
have to do my hair as well.
But it was, but yeah, well, like for me, I've kind of just wanted to. This has been the most important thing to me.
Yeah.
And then I'm not that bothered about David Tennant and Russell T Davies coming back. I'll just wait and see what happens because it's ages away.
It's not until next November, is
Is
it?
it November?
Yes,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yes.
This is the power of the Doctor. This is Jodie's finale,
This is
and
now,
it was
yeah.
brilliant,
Yeah,
and
Jodie,
beautiful, and
yeah.
awesome, and it was stunning the location it was done on as well.
The regeneration was.
the
I
way she
love the
played it.
ending with the regeneration on that rock with the sun setting. Wow. There's some
What does
money
she
on that.
say? She says something blossomy blossom or
Blossomy
something.
blossoms.
I thought that's what it was. Yeah.
Blossomiest blossoms.
Right.
I want.
I was probably making a coffee at that point. Never heard that.
She's going to take
John,
him one last.
I was
sunlight.
literally sat at my telly like this
Yeah.
on my own,
Well, I was,
crying.
after an hour and 10 minutes, I was like, "Oh, this is going on."
I didn't even get up for a
Oh,
week.
John.
And
I didn't get up for a
ladder.
wee either, and I was a bit worried about that.
I didn't
Yeah.
even breathe.
That regeneration, the actual regeneration was spoilt because it went up on one of the American
Only if
websites.
you,
How did it actually go
only if you look at that stuff.
Yeah, if you looked at
I
it, it
don't.
was actually it went up on one of the.
Yeah, but
American
sometimes it's like, how did he get to that story anyway? I'm not really bothered. When they do the spoilers, it captivates people to go, oh, what's going to happen? It starts people talking anyway, so sometimes it gets leaked out. Whatever.
And also-
creates
also
a buzz either way.
She got killed in a massive fashion, going to a cyber conversion planet. The Master brings down one of the most powerful things that can power a planet, which is a thing of beauty and awesomeness.
The Quilunks, we call them.
The Death Star! No.
The
It
Star.
didn't like a death.
Yeah, and it turned on her, and that's where she got it from. And it was like, I don't know,
Forced
it was
regeneration.
epic. It was epic, but small.
Yeah.
That's what Jodie does. She makes the massive stuff, just brings it down to something. I don't know. She's just amazing. This is the first time I've not been ready for the Doctor to go, and I'm not ready for it to go. Or Chibnall. I think this is just testament to how awesome they can be, and for me as well. Just to give you a little bit of personal, 4 years ago, she came out, and
There you go.
this era has proved to be my growth as a person. So I was like, if Doctor Who's a woman, I'm never going to watch it.
I remember those
and
conversations.
also
yeah.
hating early her first season when we were reviewing it for podcasts and stuff like that. I love it all now, every single bit of it. and I can't believe the person or what I thought back then, if that makes sense. And that's why I love this era even more, because it says to me on a personal level my growth as a person. Now, on another personal level, Doctor Who means it was my everything, you know, and it has been all my life. It's been my escape. It's been a lot of things for me. It's been my friend. You know what I mean? It means the world to me. And this era has just been, for me to reflect on myself, the personal growth. And that's why I was bawling my eyes out through a lot of it. And at the end, you know, because it's... And I'm not ready for it to go. I love that fact. I love that fact that I'm not.
I want more Chibnall. I want more Jodie. I just feel like I feel like the people out there has pulled them down too early. Could have done with another season.
5 years is fine. It's pretty average, isn't it?
But it's
Yeah,
only
but 5 years, only 3
isn't it?
seasons.
Yeah.
I know, but it's the way telly is these days. More money spent, more detail.
No,
I agree that she's gone too
they
soon.
need to pump one out each year if they can. At least pump something out, because you get to the point where you're in so much anticipation just for one thing.
Yeah.
That creates a lot of critics behind it, because you build it up and like, oh, we've got one coming, and then you feel let down.
It's a balance to do, but the quality of television these days, you can't put some standard stuff on and expect anybody to accept that. So I think that, and also justifiably, the BBC want to make sure that what they create is sparkly and lovely. Because it's one of their flagship things.
Well, now they're going to work hand in hand, aren't they? With is it Bad
Sony's
Wolf?
Bad Wolf and
Bad Wolf,
Yeah.
Sony, and all that sort of stuff.
So
I just got to say, Darren Pickles has put a little thing in. He watched it. This is very lucky, actually. He had to go upstairs and watch it on his PlayStation VR goggles because his fan had taken.
Oh wow! Can you imagine watching it in VR?
It's on a massive screen with loads of detail, which is awesome. I bet he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm just going to go upstairs." I bet he was not taking over all. He was like, oh, "That's amazing, Darren. That's class."
That's great.
Now Bob's going to buy that. Now you know that now.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, there's a lot of positive love on here as well, which I'm loving.
Is that what most people are saying? And most people are saying that it feel like this really lovely.
Yeah. We got LHA again. I don't know who that is.
Lindsay.
I know it's Lindsay. I'm trying.
I know, but it's easier to say Lindsay than it is to say
It's a lot
LHA
easier
again.
to
Isn't
say
it?
Lindsay, yeah, and Geordie Russell and Darren, and Dan has come up. Dan Kine 33. You know, so
it's Dan from the Hoovers group.
Bad Wolf as well. Martin, Deb Green.
Martin.
Thank you, everybody, for
Yeah.
taking time to do this. We'll do other ones in the future if you like.
And the technical bit would get better.
Well, I mean,
The second screen's just messed up a little bit.
Oh yeah, totally.
Well,
Thanks.
I can't wait to watch it back and review it, Shep, and then we'll.
No,
get to
don't
your,
review it, because then John will give me an hard time for
won't be
ages. And then Bob won't be all singing and dancing and lasers coming out of the screen or something.
Yeah.
How
We'll
dare
send
you.
you a performance review later.
Yeah.
all right.
Thanks,
I think
mate.
Craig's due it as well, isn't he?
What, singing?
Performance
Well,
review.
When someone says performance review, I think talent and singing. I don't have a performance review. I'll be sacked straight away, especially on my knowledge point.
Oh yeah, fantastic. Well, I'm going to go around the console and just get a sort of,
Hey,
any last.
that's the thing that we are. Wow, amazing.
That's you see what I did there, and just get any sort of final thoughts and bits and pieces, because this is quite new for us to go immediately after pretty much the episode has aired and chat about it. So there's not reams of notes. Is the Suki? I'll come to you.
Make
first.
me last.
All right.
You're gonna make me
I know. I was just thinking, make me laugh.
Yeah, all right, guys. Settle.
I'll come to Craig because he said words.
I just heartbreakingly fantastic.
Going with the 2 words already.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm gonna
Right.
do 2 words as well.
Heartbreaking, fantastic. I mean, you can say more.
You're allowed to say more.
Yeah.
I mean, never say to Craig who's allowed to say more. because
No,
he
that'd
will.
be it.
Quite an unusual
Anyone
thing,
watching,
that's
go
why.
for the break now.
Yeah, you doing all right.
I thought it was 2 words only, but I can go with Karen. No, go on.
No, it's your final thoughts. My
My final thoughts was, honest to God, it was just truly stunning. I have loved the Chibnall era. I know it has a lot of critics, but for me, I've loved every bit of it. Right from the very beginning when it came on, I defended it. It was just an epic climax to what has been an epic 3 series. It's got better and better and better. And I didn't want it to go, but I am excited about the future.
Awesome, Craig. Nice. And your 2 words were heartbreakingly awesome.
Yes.
Lovely. John.
Yeah, I think it was excellent episode. I think the work that Chibnall has put into this, the story was great. I think the fanfic part of it was especially nice. It felt like you're being cuddled by your memories. So that was just a really nice point, and I think it's really good. If I'm going to get, I don't have 2 words prepared, but nice ending.
Lovely. Sheps, your final words and thoughts.
Final thoughts. I loved the way Chibnall had to go through it all. Brought Vinder, brought everybody back. It tried to tie in all the other stories. I still think there's so much what he could write, books, or like you said, the big finish. You're going to have a field day with all this stuff what they can do. Looking forward to the future. It set it up quite nice for RTD. Real, just heartbreaking, because I really think Chibnall still had a lot of stories to sell. Maybe one day, you never know. RTD came back, didn't he? Maybe he'll come back. Well, 2 words is fantastic.
Oh, hey, yeah. Nice.
Boom.
Yes.
Boom.
I'm going to let you have it.
Yeah, you're going to let him have it.
Are you not going to tell us only one word, John? You know me.
I'm just going to let him have it.
I split it up. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, and it is Sheps. He's barely mastered the English language.
What about you, Bob?
Me, I'm still a bit shocked. I'm still a bit emotional. I'm still a bit just drained.
You're looking forward to a rewatch?
And satisfied. I don't know, because it'll never be that special again. You know, it was, finales never fulfill, do they? They're never fulfilling, because it's not what you want. But it was just everything I wanted and more. I could cry now. Honestly, it was just beautiful. So thank you, Mr. Chibnall. I'm going to breathe and say a mighty words. Don't cry and go to Suki.
Right. You're not live on YouTube, mate.
Not live on YouTube. I don't see a crying ginger man on YouTube.
What's just happening is someone showed his pizza come out of the oven burnt because he's talked.
what were your 2 words, Bob?
Don't cry.
Right. Okay.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, he's good.
Right, my 2 words are emotional.
Right.
Brilliant. Well done, Suki.
Don't be like this, guys. Right, but so I'm going to get that out of the way, because it was an emotional ending film. I know I had tears in certain places when Tegan met Peter Davison, when Sylvester and Ace were together, the Doctor regenerating at the end, and everything leading up to that moment in the last few scenes. There's lots of emotional moments. Loved all that. I also like the fact that they had Janet Fielding and Sophie Aldred in the title credits at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right at the beginning.
Yeah.
And I love that. It's just, that suddenly started the emotional, the tears straight away there. The tears welling up. I'm thinking, oh, that's superb. The fact that the master went around putting his face into all the paintings. It just,
that was funny.
I like that.
It was really cheesily, but yeah.
Just to get the Doctor's attention. I couldn't believe that. I love having the TARDIS back at landing back at Anfield. You know, being a Liverpool fan.
Yeah.
Up the Reds.
What, not Forest?
Despite how we're currently playing.
The fact that Tegan was carrying the little Cyberman toy around with her, and that was a Cyberman toy. It wasn't a proper little. I think it's one of these Eagle Moss figurines.
Yeah.
Right. So she must have been carrying that around for her. But she was also carrying her gal bag. If you noticed, when the Doctor's about to leave, Tegan's got a bag with her. She wants to go with the Doctor, and she doesn't go.
Oh, right.
So it's a bit later on when Tegan goes, "That's it. I am going back into the TARDIS." And it's because she's been rebuffed earlier on. All right, and I just love that.
That was a great comeback.
That was a good moment, yeah.
And I was wondering how Assad was back, the Cyberman, and he was
Cloned.
just clown. He was a clown, and I think that was great. And there was also a nod back to the TV movie when the Master said, "Do you like my clothes? I like to dress for the occasion." That I just thought, great. What a way to come back to that. The Force regeneration. Again, that's a nod back to the second Doctor.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, guys. Just listen.
No, he's right. He's right.
No, he's right, definitely, yeah.
Just to come in, Suki, as well, I loved the Master's Doctor clothes. The Master.
Oh, we've not talked about that, have we? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it was fun,
I was going to come to that, because if you look, he's wearing the jumper from the 7th, the scarf from the 4th, the trousers and recording from the 2nd, the celery from the 5th. right? I
Has
didn't
he got
recognise
Tennant's
anything.
tie on? Tennant's tie, is it?
Yes,
It
it
might
is
have-
Craig.
yeah.
It is
Yeah,
Craig.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And if there's anything
Chris
else,
Eccleston's pants on.
there's also
Colin Baker's bra.
That's just nasty. There's a bit where Ace is swinging the bat, and she just walks away and goes, Beyonce copied all my moves. I thought that was great.
Yeah. That was great. Yeah.
The Ace just parachuting straight into the TARDIS. We've discussed it, but I just think that needs to be mentioned again. It's just brilliant the way and that was all seemed to be done in one shot as well.
Yeah.
There was a couple of times where there was all done in one shot where the Doctor and Yaz run into the TARDIS from whatever planet.
Yeah,
and that
yeah,
looks like
and he goes straight through. Yeah, that's
straight
awesome.
through to the.
Is that when the Cybermen were shooting them, was it? And the bolts were coming into
Yeah.
the TARDIS. That was really impressive.
Cybermen can never hit anything, can they?
No, they
No, they are stormtroopers, aren't they?
yeah.
As Bob said earlier, the interaction between Ace and Sylvester was fantastic, but I also love the Tegan and Peter Davison one, where it seemed to come down to just saying Adric. It made me just well up, right? And I didn't think that would be an occasion where I'll be trying out for Adric. Graham and his the return of Graham with the psychic paper. Still can't get used to it. That bad.
I still don't know how he got there, but it was great that he was in it.
It was good to
I
see
liked
Graham.
him. I liked him.
Yeah. I liked him and Dan at the end as well. You know,
Yeah.
like when they're saying, "Oh," but then it goes to
There's a bit where the Master is in his handcuffs and walks away, and he turns to Kate and goes, "Your father was an idiot." Oh, I wanted to slap him.
yeah.
I wanted to slap him so hard
Yeah.
there. I just thought that was just really, really not. The Doctor waking up, and she looks up, and the word "fam" being used, but it's extended fam.
Extended.
Again, it's just going back to her first episode. Hello, fam, and all this stuff. So I think
And
that's it.
there's another one as well to do with the again the TARDIS console has 6 sides around the console.
Yeah.
And she got them all doing a bit around the console. And nod
So
to
what she
Tennant.
took that, she took
Back to
that from
10,
us.
isn't it? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's
Oh, yeah, of
so
course.
many nods. There's so many nods. In
It's
this.
continuity full, isn't it? Really, it's very
Yeah.
rich, but you don't need to know it to appreciate the episode.
I mean,
at
I
all.
don't know that because I know it. You know what I mean?
Yes,
and that's why
yeah.
this is the most special made for me episode of Doctor Who.
And there's
Ever.
one other funny line that I wanted to mention was Kate and Tegan run out of the building as it collapses, and Kate just turned around. I just signed the lease. Right, and I thought,
A line that I really enjoyed was "Unleash the Volcanoes." I thought that was a cracking line.
What did we think of the
Stock footage of volcanoes with some
Well,
CGI
I
on it.
quite like that because it was a hark back to Doctor Who of the old days. But the way the cyberpunk like freeze metalled all these volcanoes,
yeah.
I thought that was
Modern
nice.
art. I love the
I
cut.
thought
The
that was
light.
brilliant and
Yeah.
very Jodie as well.
Yeah.
Like I made the modern art. It's great, isn't it? Positive, you know. It's just
Yeah,
brilliant.
there were loads of one lines in there. Absolutely, it was full of humor as well. Kind of quite quirky, quite quick.
Oh, Darren's just put a thing as well, and he said, and the Master when he went, "How's Auntie Vanessa to tea?"
Oh, that was
Yeah.
cracking. That's
Yeah.
Yeah,
John nodded his head.
John doesn't get that.
No,
Sorry,
I
that's-
do.
yeah.
I watched the episode.
did,
You've
yes,
seen
we've
it, you've seen
reviewed
a
it,
couple
I've
of
seen
them.
it.
Yeah. That's it. And
Don't
also the fact
underestimate me, Suki. I know my Doctor Who.
and also the fact that he miniaturized all the seismologists.
Oh, it's brilliant.
That was, and they're all just sat on the rows, aren't they? And it's like, oh, say goodbye to their families or whatever, and give them my love. Just that heartless.
He must have
of the
killed
master.
hundreds of them.
Yeah.
The Russian doll thing was ace though.
I like
When I know we've sort of touched on the
Very
figure.
clever. I hope they use that in the
cool.
future.
Yeah, it was brilliant. But just his whole crazy plot was awesome. Suki, can I empty your tank?
Yeah.
That
That's,
is
for you,
what-
that's for you, Lindsay.
Yeah. Hello, Lindsay. Yes, thank you. Done.
Wicked. And when you 2 words,
Emotional ending.
that's a bit.
As I said.
That was good to be honest.
Big mouse.
See what? Did you say damp squid?
That's why I put it at the beginning of all my meandering.
Well, yeah, we've just done a live episode. I just want to say a big thank you to anyone that's been viewing and watching us, and definitely a big thank you to people that have been whacking loads of positivity into the chat.
It's so lovely to see positivity. I remember when the Chibnall era started, it was always negative, 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 and it's so lovely.
I'm sorry about that, Craig.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't just you. I remember the days of me and Stucky having to defend, but it was everywhere. It was why it was like it was trendy to bash it, and it's so lovely to see all this coming through. And I'll probably ignore social media tomorrow in case it gets a different viewing on there. It's so lovely to hear you guys being so positive, our viewers being so lovely about it as well. It just reaffirms how great this show is.
I mean, to be fair, there's nothing is perfect, but.
No.
If we can, we've mastered the art of looking at it and finding the positives in this podcast. I mean, it makes the watching of it so much more pleasurable.
And it makes it fun, and it's just a group of people getting together to enjoy something, not sit there to purposely think, what can I slag off about it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think I had that initially in my head, when it came on, the review head, and I hate having that head on. And then suddenly it just left me. And I was oh bloody hell, I've got to go and do this now.
Yeah.
I'm feeling like red eyes, just feeling like a bit of a just I don't know. Yeah. It was incredibly special, but and I want to say a big thank you to Sheps.
Yeah, well done, Sheps.
I messed up the second scene.
He's totally messed up the second scene. He should have had the layers differently, but
well, it doesn't matter. So big well done to Sheps for doing all this video stuff and living, and
I'll get it
John
better next time.
And John as well, but Sheps has been the man at the helm doing all this kind of thing. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I mean, it was quite a blessing, to be honest, Sheps, at the beginning, apparently, when they couldn't hear you. That's the feedback we're having.
Yeah, my mum said that as well.
We're
the
not,
viewership
honestly,
went down as soon as you started talking, Sheps.
Yeah, we were on 53,000
and now we're only 12.
And now we're on 12.
Yeah.
As soon as you started talking, Sheps. So,
but
seriously, thank you so much for all the effort you've put in and everyone making this live thing happen. And I hope, like I say, you viewers have enjoyed it. I've loved it. I've loved to meet. Well, it's been a very strange experience coming on and talking about a new episode of Doctor Who immediately after, especially one that have
Oh, what we got next?
Got about a year, haven't we?
No, our next story is
It's a production meeting. We're having a production meeting.
Yeah,
what we do
Live
is
on
we
air.
start, and also start a sentence, Craig, and not know what the ending is. That's always a good thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
well, you know, I was going to production meetings accidentally.
I think. Well, we've got a bomb because you can't. I can't say it. Abominable
snowman.
Men to do at some point and other stuff and Loop-Garou.
Yeah,
Loop-Garou as well, and all sorts of stuff coming up on the podcast. So
keep on, keep subscribed, follow us, Twitter,
follow
everything.
us, YouTube, and we've got the audio podcast and bits and pieces like going on as well. So, but just this has been awesome, lads. Thank you very much. Thank you to everyone who's watched and all.